lectures. Screen flickers tales of crime and affection. Baristas mix caffeine with tales of deception. Lawyers joke and shadows plot their redemption. Case files like popcorn scatter on the floor. Jury's out in line, folks begging for more. Quirky loopholes twist through every door. Paparazzi flash for the courtroom encore. Legal shenanigans, theater, baby, where justice lasts. Crime and humor dance, baby, a curious path. Grab your ticket, honey, let the gavel smash. In the flood of laughter, see the road splash. Scoundrels with a smile, defense on their lips.
Howdy, everyone. Hope you're doing well today. Let's see here. Welcome, Christine. I hope you're doing great. And Wolfram, thank you for doing all of your Modly Mod stuff. DK Cripple, Tammy Bogard, Alice G, and everyone. So we are continuing on the fart that became a real boy, but still ended up as a human turd. Hey, Disney, talk to me. We can make a movie. Welcome, Nikki KB. So, as you guys know, if you're new here, this is a hilarious brainchild that is, well, the sort of mutated child. If Mystery Science Theater and True Crime had a baby, this is what it would be. So we kind of listen to interrogations, make fun of a-holes. I mean, I'm not going to lie. We have the snark and we are here. And if you haven't followed this case, this gentleman who looks a lot like he was built like Grimace from McDonald's, this human festering pile of turd, happened to unalive his entire family because he was kind of committing just a scotch of Medicaid fraud and his life was falling down around him. And rather than tell his wife that they would have to move out of, Celebration, Florida, the town that Disney built, he just decided to off them. So,
Yeah. And
well, I do have Mariah Carey thawing out from carbonite. We did try the sacrifices. We tried, Cabin in the Woods, but apparently we didn't do all the things. So she will be coming back, unfortunately.
if we just spray painted some black stripes on his little costume there and gave him a little hat, he would literally be the Hamburglar.
Oh my gosh, yes.
With
Or
that creepy
who
little
is
mustache.
was it Opie from Popeye, the one that was like, I'll gladly pay you Wednesday for a hamburger today?
Why, that sounds familiar, but what, from Popeye?
Can't remember.
Huh.
He always looked like he was somewhat okay. They obviously did a drunk, super proficient drunk,
Yeah.
because he was all jowly and stuff like that, and droopy eyed. I don't remember where he came from.
Huh.
Wimpy. Thank you,
Wimpy.
dog named Boo. I'm just so happy when these things really exist and I didn't make them up in my head.
Yes, I see him now. Yes, I do remember who this is. Yes.
Thank you so much for coming over. So let's get into this. He is still explaining how, what we are doing is watching the confession in air quotes, because his defense later on in trial is going to state that this was all coerced. He was high on Benadryl, and this was actually not really a confession that he could give full consent to.
Yes.
So notice that he, is able to go chronologically. He might be fuzzy on some details, but he is very, very clear on what he did, point A, point B, except when he somewhat forgets about who wrote the unaliving letter. He got it mixed up with motor oil because he tried to drink that. Again, as an Ubermensch, he could not die.
Yeah. And didn't he also pee on the letter too, I thought?
That's what he stated in his testimony. So his wife Megan had written a letter that explained explainerated all of this.
Yes, allegedly. wrote a letter.
Allegedly. Now, since he had, done destroyed it, he decided to edit and type one out.
Yeah.
Because that's what everyone does.
Yeah. Because as a quote unquote grieving husband, that is the first thing that you're going to do is edit your wife of 20 something years and mother of your 3 children. You're going to edit her quote unquote unaliving note. Yeah.
Yes. Not to mention that the way this family went was incredibly painful
Yeah.
and
Cruel.
and cruel. This tub of lard, and usually, look, as a semi-fluffy, deflating person, I generally understand when you have a mouth to fork issue. I'm still retaining Mike and Ike's. I do tend to give people grace. But this fat tub of lard basically laid on top of his daughter until she stopped moving.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
when I say that he is a human festering turd, he really is.
And if laying on his daughter and his 2 sons and then stabbing his wife several times isn't enough for you, then we can also include the dog as well.
Oh yeah, he unalived Breezy the dog because everyone wanted to go to Nirvana together.
Yes. Because come as you are, or maybe it smelled like Teen Spirit, I'm not sure. But yes.
And he went to like a Reddit forum to get ideas for unaliving. And I'm
and
sure all the
Quora.
12-year-olds on there that were, not too busy making fun of people on Call of Duty gave him great ideas.
Yes, because Quora, as anybody here who's ever looked at any forums or have seen memes from Quora, Quora is where you go to get genius answers. Like, I swallowed, can I get pregnant?
Howdy, howdy. The answer is no, maybe. Depends on what you did afterwards.
I've literally seen that floating around somewhere as a genius question for Quora.
Well, let's get into this because I'm sure he'll have blubbering and waffling to say. You know what he reminds me of? Have you ever seen that weird movie where I think it's called Walrus or something? Tusk.
Tusk?
Where the guy goes, he's like a YouTuber, and he goes to this weirdo's house, and the weirdo does this weird experiment where he turns him into a human walrus.
No, I have not seen this. But it sounds really funny.
It is the weirdest, grotesque, because it's the weird little wimpy guy that does the voice for How to Train Your Dragon.
Okay.
And then you see him in full walrus form. I'm like, look, I understand people were high on the labyrinth and dark crystal, but what the hell did you take?
Oh dear.
All right, let's get into this, or we'll never finish this daggone thing. I am going to put it to 1.25. He does speak rather slowly, so if it's too fast, let me know. But we're going to try to muscle through this without too much, randomness, allegedly.
Items or trinkets or whatever you call them were already in your bedroom? Mm-hmm. And what specifically did he want to bring with him?
He wanted the scarf, the soccer scarf.
Soccer scarf?
Yep.
And what team was that from?
That was from the Team USA versus Canada game that we went to a couple weeks prior.
Okay. Team USA. Okay. Did you position that on his body?
No, I positioned it on the toy box itself.
On the toy box. Mm-hmm. All right. You said something about
Okay.
your
So this weird, twisted son of a bitch, just going to throw it out there, basically stated and wants us to buy that he sat down, all 3 little kiddos, and he was like, Mom and I are planning to kick the bucket. Would you want to be orphans or would you like to go with me? And allegedly, and according to him, during this, family meeting, not talking about chores, but talking about homicide, the kids were like, no, we want to go to Nirvana with you.
Yes.
And they all picked out a special item, allegedly, that they wanted to go with.
Yeah.
Why would you pick a soccer scarf?
Yeah. And it's like, it's the strangest thing. Like, it just is, because I know we haven't got there yet, but there's this whole concept of Nirvana, but like, there's we'll get there in just a minute, but one of them wants a crucifix. If I
How is
recall
Buddha going to
correctly.
feel about that?
Yeah, it's like
Or who's in Hindu? I know it's someone else. It's not
there's
Gandhi.
a bunch of
Yeah.
gods.
Oh, you're right. I always wanted to be Kali. She's just death and destruction. Just got a bunch of arms and just pissed off at the world. I was like, I relate.
Yeah, like it sounds like a good time.
Also, a side note and future apology for hate crimes against other cultures. I don't know squat about Hinduism, so whatever I say is, an amalgamation of things I saw on YouTube, which is why I won't comment on it further.
Yeah.
Daughter's hands. What did you put in her hands?
Set of rosaries, I think.
Set of rosaries? How about Tyler?
It was some kind of religious aspect, whether it be rosaries or some kind of something along that lines.
Now, did you guys already have these items?
Those are mine from collections growing up.
Grow up. All right. Did you grow up in a church?
Speaking as a recovering Catholic, you do get like your patron saint, and these are some things that are, you usually pick your saint because it's either something you want to aspire to do or something that you know is a personal struggle.
Yeah.
So I cannot explain to you how absolutely irreligious, sacrilegious, and desecration-like it is to take something that was personally his on his faith journey and then put it over his dead children.
Yeah.
It is disgusting. I mean, and I have deep respect for Catholics. This is going to be the apology tour for Mo, but it just it wasn't the way I connected with the faith.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. I joke about it because there's a lot of sort of stereotypes that are very, very true, like the guilt. I still carry that. The need to confess to people, only they're usually retail workers now and they just look at me horrified.
Yeah. It's one of the things that I have never really understood about Catholicism is like picking your saint, and I was like, is there like a patron saint of like rock and roll?
Is there a patron saint of like saying really stupid stuff and then having to apologize?
I think that's just called being Catholic, Mo.
I was like, is there a patron saint for ADHD? Like, just filterless. It's like, Saint Tabitha of New Guinea.
We're gonna make some new saints today.
Meatloaf. Oh my gosh, can I go on a rant about Meatloaf?
Yes.
So I love watching people react to the first time they ever see, something that I really like musical wise. So I just like seeing people discover stuff. And the amount of people that do not know I would do anything for love, but I wouldn't do that. It's effing explicitly explained in the goddamn lyrics.
Yeah.
And every single reactor, I don't even know what he wouldn't do for love.
Yeah. It's one of those things that is kind of strange. Like that I don't understand why people don't understand that, but
Rhiannon, Rhiannon, you are absolutely a hero. I have pulled stories up from Wales and then I'm reading through them for Mornings with Mo, and I get to a town name and I'm like, there are 42 L's, a couple Y's, and possibly a K. And then I just say foreign. Somewhere foreign in Wales.
and you wouldn't think
I
that
feel
you'd-
so bad because I'm like, I don't want to start an international incident, but that's not a word that I know.
Yeah, like if you get into like traditional like Irish names and stuff, like I used to work with a lady who was from Ireland and her name was nowhere near how it was spelled. How
Oh,
you pronounced
cool.
it.
Oh, I
nice.
know it. Oh, cool. Look, Meatloaf is. I love him. Look, all of his stuff is so cinematic, and I know it's cheesy. It is so absolutely like perfect 80s cheese and schlock all put together in the early 90s. I get it. I don't know why I love it, but I do. Apparently, my soul is a 45-year-old accountant because I also like Phil Collins.
Yeah, it's yeah. Meatloaf is good. Like it isn't a it is not a taste for everybody though. Like I'm
No,
fully
it is
aware of
very
that.
operatic. It's very theatrical. It's very musical like. And
Yes.
I'm surprised I like it because usually I'm like musical, oh my God, no. My girls want to go see Wicked and I'm like, can I be
Can I be excused?
excused from I'm just like I never watched the play. I don't really care. And the two that Ariana Grande and the other chick, look, it's not that I just don't know her name and it's but they're always like holding each other and touching each other during interviews. And as a personal space person, I'm like, this is just not going to be for me. There's going to be a lot of hugging in this.
I mean, but isn't that what queens do? They just hold each other. I
Oh my
mean,
God. Please,
right?
dear Lord, you're so very strong and inspirational. No, you're inspirational and strong.
Slay it, queen.
I'm just like, repeal the 19th. We have obviously not earned it yet. I want to go full Bronca, which is weird because I mean, I'm kind of okay with it now, but I'm just like, not another one. Not another. All right, let's get back to turd.
I was a forced Catholic, yes.
Forced Catholic, yes. Okay.
Forced
Understood.
Catholic?
Okay, so Tyler gets a set of rosaries. How much he
Oh,
deserves?
not that we're probably going to pause a lot, but he will say here that he was a forced Catholic. But when we get to his testimony, he will
Yes.
basically claim that he was full Catholic. He was very, very scared of Meghan going into, you know, Eastern religions and tainting the pure Catholicism that was his house. I mean, you almost got to the point where you wanted to bring up one of those bad touch dolls and have him
Hmm.
point out where the Eastern religion had hurt him.
Yeah. Yeah. It's if what you hear in this interrogation and all the stuff that we've heard over the last like a couple weeks of this, all of this stuff is going to come up and be important in his actual like time on the stand, because a lot of it he is going to contradict, or you're going to be able to pick out like the definite like missteps where he said one thing and probably shouldn't have. Like it's going to be super obvious. But
Yeah, and I am going to try to this week because I forgot. You know how when you're an adult and you always think next week is Thanksgiving and next week is Thanksgiving? Well,
yeah.
I kept thinking it was this week coming up. So I was like, oh crap, I don't have time to do anything. But I do plan to speed run this trial to give you a little more context. We'll still go over it in Legal Shenanigans Theater because he is such an a-hole.
Yeah.
But that way it'll give you some more context and it kind of ties in because I'm trying to be all business and grifty like.
Positioned.
He is on his, when I put him on, he is on his, like, towards his stomach, with his head towards the side. I just
And
came
he
around.
lived with these
His head was
bodies
facing
for nearly 3
back to the
weeks.
back of the wall, back of the bone chart.
That is
Okay.
why he's in a
Is he on his
painter's
face? Is he on
paper
his side?
uniform.
How's his
He's
face?
on the side, half his face is like, it's more so like right here.
Okay. All right. And then that leaves.
Alec.
So take me through that.
That was tough because I had to get the mattress out from underneath him because I couldn't drag him on the mattress. So I took the blanket, this comforter blanket, put it on the ground, and we moved him to the ground. So we moved the mattress into the room.
How did you move him to the
You
ground?
and what
Picked
mouse?
him up and put him on top of the comforter that was on his bed. So I put the comforter on the ground so he wouldn't be laying on the rug. Put that on the ground. Put him on the ground. Brought the mattress into the room. Made sure the mattress was set, and then put him on the.
Did you have to like drag him by the comforter, or did you pick him up, or how does it
I
work?
moved- I
He
moved the
waited
sheet
until
and
they
laid
went
him.
into rigor.
Yeah. I put the comforter on the bed, then I took the sheet.
Or
took the
out of
sheet
rigor,
with him,
sorry.
And put it onto the blanket, the comforter. Moved the bare mattress into the room. So I was able to pick him up and take him. I was adamant I did not want to drag him. He was my son. I did not want to drag him. So I picked him
I am fucking speechless.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want to like desecrate his body. Now, on another topic, this does tie into the Delphi case because what he is doing here, in my opinion, as a non, licensed criminologist and self-taught, crimeology person, this would be kind of classic undoing. He did, the deed, but he wants to pretty them up. He wants to put them all in one place. He wants to get them, the stuffies and the things that they wanted to take into the afterlife. And putting them in the master bedroom. Now, there was conjecture that he slept next, or he does say that he slept next to Megan that night. We don't know if he was sleeping in the master bedroom or what was going on, but my guess is he kind of shut that room out and just kind of functioned in the other bed at the house. But he kind of made it its own little mortuary. It's so gross and disgusting.
Yeah, it's quite disturbing to know that like this went on for like 3 weeks that he lived with them.
Yeah. And notice how he's going step by step. So his defense is going to claim that he is so high on Benadryl and he is in a weakened state and he is just, all Twitter pated and can't say something. But he went step by step and methodically.
Yeah.
And it is weird that he's like, he's my son. I don't want him to be on the ground when he unalived him. And I believe Alex is the one that fought back.
Yes. Alex is the
he was,
one.
yeah. And it's just, that little boy's a hero. That little boy tried to, slay the monster in his house. And it turned out to be his turd of a dad. I want to say Turd Ferguson, but I don't want to. I don't want to besmirch, Norm Macdonald and that beautiful, beautiful skit.
We could tie it back to the Hamburglar and just call him the turd burglar.
The Turdler.
The Turdler, like the Riddler, but worse.
Yes. So and God bless these detectives, because a reason number 11D12003 that I would not be a good detective is I might be employing a phone book at this time.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. Like, hey, we have to test all the tasers.
Yeah.
Well,
Or
I do have. This will wake you up.
Yeah. A baton or a baton, depending on where in the world you are.
I would turn into Dirty Harry. Like, do you feel lucky?
Dirty Harriet. Call back.
Yes, I would become that. I could not listen to this man bloviate for, hours.
Yeah, like it, it's one thing if you just unalived people and like there wasn't some crazy weird story to go along with it, and it's just like, yeah, okay, like you killed your whole family, whatever. Like
Oh,
that would be
wow.
one thing, but like the whole like weird story to go along with it and all the steps of this semi-ritualistic thing of getting these items and putting them on them and all this, like that's where stuff starts to get very like uncomfortable for me.
Well, it's also the bastardization of religion. This is why people don't tend to like religions or have struggles with finding faith, maybe outside of, norms.
Yeah.
Because you always have these a-holes that are like, but Jesus told me. And
Yes.
you're like, well, yes, West Baptist, Westboro Church, but you're also a-holes, and Jesus had a lot to say about not being an asshole, too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, apparently, God told him to do this just like he told Daryl Brooks to do it, right?
So
I mean-
Tony Todt was a successful physical therapist. He and his wife started a physical therapy practice. They had 2 offices up in Connecticut. His wife, Megan, though, did suffer from Lyme disease, and her doctors kind of told her, hey, look, climate not great here in Connecticut. Maybe think about moving it down south. Well, the Tots were a Disney family, like going once a year, twice a year, and spending a shit ton of money. Look, if there is a 9th circle of hell for me, it is Disney World. My kids are all like, we want to go to Disney World. I am like, it violates all of my cardinal rules. It is too hot. It is too expensive. It is too crowded. And there are weird ass people trying to hug you in furry costumes. Also,
Yes.
Disney adults. No offense to you guys. I know you love Disney, but it is just not my jam. You guys confuse me. I'm sure I confuse you with my need to stay in my house and be an indoor cat. It, so, I mean, I'm not downing on Disney adults, but you guys are just too excited about
Yeah.
everything. And you tend to blog it all. And then it ends up in my feed. And I'm like, no, God, no, bring back the horse hoof guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad people are passionate about things like Disney. Like that's if that's your thing, I'll go for it. But like, yeah, it's just
So,
Disney was over
back
for me in the 90s.
back to the 5 minute explanation. Tony Todt was doing so after Megan moved down there, basically Tony was living by himself in Connecticut while he would go on the weekends to Florida to help Megan out with the raising of the family. She homeschooled the kids. She had them in all sorts of organizations. He was doing just a little bit of the Medicare fraud, though. And this is about Thanksgiving that the feds come in, shut everything down. And he's like, for some reason, the feds, their hearts had grown 3 sizes too big or something like that because they allowed this man to have one last holiday with his family. Well, January rolls around and they've been vague booking and posting weird things and messaging their family weird things about the end of the world, the apocalypse, out of left field. Now, we do find out that Tony Todd is the one that is doing this because he had, now the theories kind of range, but what the criminologists and detectives surmise is that he somehow got his family completely dosed with Benadryl to the point that they were very drowsy. He systematically attacked from his 4-year-old to his 13-year-old, not only smothering them, but also trying to bleed them out by going through the umbilicus and getting them vena cava. Now, if you are any way familiar with anatomy, that is a terribly painful wound when you could reach the femoral artery fairly quickly. I don't know why I know these things, but you can bleed out in about 60 seconds if you. So he unalives his entire family plus the dog and lives with the rotting corpses for about 3 weeks until the feds have finally come to their senses and go get him. And then they discover the horrors within this house. The part that I haven't told you is that they are living in Celebration, Florida, the town that Disney built, the artificial and very, very curated sort of town. You're basically paying to be very close to the park and to be loosely affiliated with Disney as Disney sold Celebration Incorporated to some other company.
Mm-hmm.
But this is definitely, it tarnished Celebration Florida. It horrified people. I mean, they went into a house of horrors and the daughter was so badly decomposed they didn't know she was there for a while. So he goes on to pull a Chris Watts during the trial. It was all Megan's idea. She'd done it all. I was confuserated and I don't know what happened. I was mad at my wife, but I decided to take all the blame to protect Megan.
Yeah, like he tries to play like the quote unquote country bumpkin card. Like, I'm just a simple man, don't understand nothing. But yet on the same time, like while he's on the stand, he like gets really upset when the prosecution says he's not a doctor. And like, cause he's like throwing out all these fancy terms. Like, what was that thing called? You just said it, Mo? What?
Inferior vena cava.
The vena cava. That's right. Like, all I can think of when you start to say that is Anatomical, baby.
I would rather listen to that than Tony Todt, to be honest.
It's like all I can think of when you say it.
And every time I think of that song, I think of the Simpsons bit where Bart switched it to a hymn. It was Inagata Davida.
Yeah.
And I can still see the scene. It's in my mind right now. Homer and Marge sweaty towards the end of the song because it's like an 18-minute song.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, let's get back to Turtler.
Doing it the best I could. A little steps at a time I got through.
So you carry all the children?
Yeah.
That's just something that you wanted to do as a parent.
Versus dragging them?
Right.
Yeah, I don't, yeah, the ultimate respect to them, I understand we have different opinions about it, but the ultimate...
I can see it. You don't want to drag them like a piece of...
No, they're not teaching me.
Absolutely. Okay. So you get him positioned, you get Alec positioned on the mattress. Which way is he positioned?
Now, if I were a bodyologist, I would tell you that he's deeply thinking and resting his hands on his baby bump.
He's on his side. Okay. Where's one? Moving up toward that.
Moving up.
He's left on one side or the other.
Okay, no, I'm going to rant about something. You know what? I am pissed off now. I love how I tangent. But I have been pregnant for 5 years. I've done the math. You know that terrified math you do when you find out you're pregnant with your sixth child and you realize that you're going to spend greater than 6 years pregnant or nursing?
I can't say that I do, but I'll take your word for it.
Well, you know, it's a common feeling you feel when you find out you're... But, okay, so his belly, the one good thing about having a big belly is it's kind of like a table rest. His doesn't kick shit off. My kids were terrible. They were like kicking everything off of my belly. I had one, you know, I was like, that's the one kind of thing I can rest things on there.
Yeah.
The most hilarious part is the two that fight the most, the two that are very close together. When I was pregnant with youngest, most feral, you know, middle son was just a chunky little monkey, like 18-month-old, and he would want to cuddle up and sleep with me. And youngest, most feral would kick the ever-living crap out of him. He's like, bad belly, bad. And he would try to smack him back. And I'm like, hey, could I wait for you to start sibling rivalry?
I mean, that's
Oh,
funny,
and in the
though.
creepiest move I've ever made, okay, never trust Mo with pregnancy brain. I got one of those, and I understand they're therapeutic. I get that they help women with loss, but I got one of those real baby dolls because I was intensely worried about, you know, middle son being built like a brick poop house and, you know, being toddler gentle. That baby did not survive very long. He just like grabbed it by the head and started. I was like, well, okay. Remember when I said gentle? And he was like, I is.
I mean, I guess it's really a good thing that you got to test one, like a crash test dummy, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, it was not. I was like, there's a reason I'm not going to leave you unattended, and you're the attendant. You know, It's like note to self, toddlers.
Yeah, like,
That's the funny. I call it toddler gentle because it's like, hey, remember when you had two eyes before I
Yeah.
poked one out? They're just like, I'd like to poke you.
yeah. It's like
He's
you know,
like-
you would never leave, like, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger with your maid. You'd never do that. Like,
Well, yeah, and the problem is that for siblings and especially young siblings, like babies don't do anything when they're like first born, and they're like, all it does, it like middle son was like, it cry and sleep and poop.
yep.
It's not fun. Because I was always like, hey, you're gonna get a little brother. It's gonna be fun. And I'm like lying my ass off. It just sits there like a pumpkin for about 4 months, and then it gets into your stuff.
And
Welcome
then
to
you get
siblinghood.
mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's that white little lie that parents tell. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
like,
sure
you're
my
gonna-
sister was disappointed with me.
I finally just told him, like, would you be nice to each other? You might need a kidney one day. That has been yelled at my house.
I mean, if it works, it works.
Not really.
Too funny.
I'm pretty sure he stays in up to his bed.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, he's sweating
One
like
was all
tears.
spaced down. when he was found, and one was on his side, like you just described Tyler was. So I was wondering maybe if Alec.
If any of them were
That is
closer face down, that
Darth
would be
Vader.
Tyler.
That is Tony.
And Tyler was closer to the.
You're a
to the bed
little
next to you, right?
low. Let me.
No, Tyler was the last one.
Okay, so Tyler was the one.
Well, I'm
closest
boosting
or
on
farthest
my
away from the
end.
bed, so-
Oh, okay.
All right.
He's
You
So
might
just
need a boost on your end.
he's sitting there like Darth Vader.
Tyler,
Oh yeah.
you got it.
I had to burn.
You need a,
Tell it to shoot, give it.
He's not crying. He's sweating. Because he's like, it's burning my eyes. Because for a minute there, I thought he might have a soul. But he's like, no, I'm just sweating my balls off.
Yeah, well,
And these detectives are nice because I'd be like, and that's my problem. How?
yeah, exactly. It's like
Use your little T-Rex arms right now.
yeah, it's like
Actually, I probably would give him a Kleenex just to see him struggle with his little T-Rex. Like, "Arr, arr, arr."
I mean, his balls are of no concern to anybody at this juncture.
Look, I'm not a physics-ologist, but I'm pretty sure he has an innie now. And I'm not talking about his belly button. Yeah, it was below the belt, but it's not like anyone's seen it in years, or him.
I mean, it technically is below the belt.
Are his arms long enough? No, I'm not going down this physics. I'll go down this one. Because now my ADH brain is like, I wonder if his arms are long enough to even reach it. Would he need one of those pickup grabber things like, you get...
To pick up trash with.
Yeah, like they're it's always the commercial right after either the pocket catheters or the reverse mortgage on Fox, and then it's the grabber.
Oh dear. I wonder if that's what the old man, what was the lady, the nurse that unalived a bunch of people? Maybe that's what the old guy.
Wet letter.
Oh yes, that's right. Wet farter.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's what that old man, he had one of those little like plastic grabber things and he's grabbed. That's what I'm going to have in my mind
I still contend
now.
on that, and I'm not body shaming at all, but she is shaped like a pile of like those, see those rock stacks and people can have really good balance.
Yeah.
And they're generally, they undulate. That's
Yeah.
what she's built like. There are just lumps everywhere, and you're not quite sure where they correlate to actual body parts. I'm not trying to be mean, but I mean, she had like a quad boob and back boobs. What the hell am I supposed to do with that?
I don't know, actually.
I love when Vale's like, Mo, I have no idea where we're going. Please stop.
It's like I'm thinking, what do you, quad boob? And it's like, wait, Total Recall.
She has a lump
3,
under her boobs that could have possibly been boobage too. I don't know. She picked the mid part to put her sports bra on. So I don't know if it's in the nippular area or under boob area. And then there's a lump under that. Maybe the man was just trying to get her attention, but didn't know which lump was which. I'm a terrible person. These are things that I think.
That's okay. I'm thinking of Bill Cosby and talking about a pudding pop. That's right now. So,
Oh my God. I hate, you know what? Can we bring pudding pops back? Why let him taint it? I did use the word taint.
yeah.
Crazy. But seriously, pudding pops were flippin' awesome. And I hate pudding, but I love pudding pops. So bring them back, damn it, along with Kudos granola bars, which were more like a Snickers bar. But you knew it was like a
Basically.
good day when your mom didn't bring home great value. She brought home like the actual Kudos with the M&Ms on them.
yeah, like, I mean, it was, in theory, it was healthy. I mean, it was granola or oats. And I mean, just because it was stuck together with high fructose corn syrup, just because it was that with chocolate in it, it was kind of healthy.
Oh my God, that and Dunkaroos. Bring the
Oh,
original
yes.
Dunkaroos back, and my life will be complete.
Oh, Dunkaroos. I bet Tony liked Dunkaroos.
He liked everything. Look, as a fellow little Debbieite, I he liked, he liked the Twinkies, and I hate Twinkies. They're just so ugh,
Oh my God, I
like
saw
ugh.
something the other day that, now that you said Little Debbie, I saw something the other day. I don't remember what it is, but it was rather offensive and it did have to do with Little Debbie. And I'm
Was it
sure you
little
can imagine
diabetes?
where that's going.
I mean,
Oh,
I get it.
it was something about how the idea of, God, this is going to sound bad because they're called cream pies, where they came from and how they're made.
I love those things, but I will never tell Mr. Mel. I'll be like, get the oatmeal things.
Yeah, because they're literally called cream pies, is what they're called.
I know, but they're so yummy. They
They
are,
are.
and oh, they're my kryptonite. That and Star Crunch. But he liked Twinkies. He just liked plain gross things and pudding.
Oh
Pudding is
God.
gross.
Could you
I
imagine now, Mo? You
Tapioca.
you walk into the grocery store and say like, to like the kid who's like 16 with all the, freck or pimples on his face, like, can you tell me where the cream pies are? And he's gonna look at you like, what?
They might have brought back Dunkaroos. I don't know. I am trying to, you know, really be good. So I try to like avoid those aisles because I know if I see something new, I'm like, I have to test this for humanity. I mean, Coca-Cola Oreos. I mean, for humanity. Oh, Star Wars Oreos. I must test those for quality control. So
Yeah,
I'm trying to be better by just avoiding those aisles.
yeah, yeah.
But
It's better that way.
but I do have my days where I'm like, okay, Mr. Mo is at the grocery store. All right, I need the Harbo's gummy bears.
Yep.
I'm gonna need the mix pack of those. I'm gonna need, Ben and Jerry's and this.
Uh,
Okay, so I have really weird taste. I liked the fizzy kind of pop things, but I also like the high chews that have like the Ramku and then the Coca-Cola flavor. So if you don't like the artificial Coke flavor or popping rock candies, they're not good.
oh, okay. I was wondering. I was gonna ask when you said that if they
It,
were any good.
they were okay. I like the filling. I actually just, okay, I'm a terrible person. If I buy Oreos, I hide them in my room. I usually get the great value Oreos for the family. I'm a terrible person. I will feel shame and confess to a retail person sometime soon, as per, dogma in the Church of Mo.
Uh,
But I will hide them and I just would eat the cream filling out of them and leave all the cookies. So one day my youngest, most feral found it and he was like, I have found it. He opened it up and he's like, this is bullshit. And I was like, excuse me?
I mean, technically, he's
Technically,
not
I could
wrong.
understand. It was just like, what the hell is this? And I was like, first of all, why are you in my stash?
Second of all,
And
why are you
second
talking
of
like
all,
that?
yeah,
But I see your point, so I'll let it
yeah.
slide.
Y'all, I have to honestly, at first, I had to have in my mind Dr. Now. Like, this is carb. Number don't lie. Not water weight. It's not hormone mo. It is you eat too much. You could lose 30 pounds a month. You actually been good. You go home and you do better. I have to have a short Armenian man behind me in my mind saying, this not even this not on my diet plan. What are you doing? You cannot lie to the scale. The scale no lie.
That's funny.
I need a guardian that snack 'em. That's what I need. Just someone to smack the snack out of my hand.
Guardian L Smackum.
Yes.
Too funny.
Give you a moment. Okay. You're go ahead and drink. Need water or anything?
He's
I
booked
guess I have nothing to hide. I'm telling you,
Oh, you are so close to him with a force multiplier. You have more patience than I do.
Yeah, I mean, that's just something that maybe during this time frame that you don't recall, but it was noticed during yesterday's events that the dog was stabbed.
Oh, now I really want some fudge on.
No.
I just
Damn it.
let you know.
Okay. So the children have been positioned. Okay. You guys are coming back together as a family. And I'll use your words. I mean, you've chickened out at this point.
The knife.
With the knife and that type of stuff. The pellet gun, during the course of this, was tried.
Yes, everyone, behold the man of Mensa, who decided that an abdominal pellet force multiplier application would unalive him.
Yeah. Yeah.
His, Daisy Red Rider with a compass built in the stock.
Yeah.
It only had to go through like 27 inches of adipose, but sure.
Yeah. And it's so funny because I was at the hardware store this morning and they literally sell those Daisy little airsoft BB things.
I know. My youngest most feral wants one, and I'm like, I'd rather get you a drum set. That's going to be a no.
Yeah.
It's going to be a no for me. And yeah, he has no interest in learning the guitar, but he would like roadblock lessons.
Roadblock?
Or Roblox?
Oh, Roblox.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's
okay.
like, I want to tutor. I need to grind on my game, Mom. And I'm like, did you grind on your homework yet? Also, grind reminds me of middle school, like things to do, my good Christian middle school. 100 things to do that aren't the deed.
Yeah.
And it's like, heavy grinding. And I'm like, ew. I had just learned how babies were made. And I was like, this is disgusting. And my parents willingly did it twice. That was that was the only thing that got me through. I was like, only for procreation. My parents were Shiite.
I remember like with somebody, I can't remember when it was said, but like the whole grinding, every time somebody says grinding, I immediately think of dry humping.
That's what I do too. So I was like, do what now?
It's like, wait a second.
And he's like, on my game. And I was like, wait a minute, what is this game?
Yeah. I was like, is this Twister? Like, what is this?
Like, and he's like, it's Roblox. Duh. I want to get a new skin and fight a new boss, or I don't know what they're doing, to be honest with you. I already have my youngest daughter who's like, yeah, I have a bunch of Sims, and I just kind of I build their houses without doors and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, this is comforting. Real comforting.
Yeah. As long as I guess they're not hurting each other for now, I suppose.
Vale, at this point, this is what I want. Oldest daughter moving on to college. No baby mama drama there. Middle daughter marries her mechanic boyfriend, and I never have to worry about her dating anymore. This is my goal. Third daughter, amass a big enough bail fund when she shanks the first guy that tries to get fresh with her.
Okay. I mean, at least she's capable and would. So, I mean, I guess you can have a little
it's the
piece of
running
mind.
joke, but she does not take anyone's crud, and it's so funny because I'm like, I'm gonna need a bail fund. I kind of, like, I've semi-resigned myself for that call, like, hello, Miss Mo? Is your child named such and such? Possibly. Did she ask for a lawyer? Not yet. She's asking for a lawyer right now. I'll be there in a couple minutes.
Yeah. It's like,
BT dubs, how much should I bring to get her out?
Yeah. Did she pull a Gypsy Rose or no? Did she tell you everything and then ask for a lawyer, or did she ask for the lawyer first?
Oh no, I have told all my kids, I've sat down and I'm like, you ask for a lawyer. The cops are not there to be your friend. Even if they continue to talk and try to goad you, you are asking for a lawyer. And it's not a sort of wishy-washy thing. It's like, I will not be continuing. Get me a lawyer now.
Yeah.
And they will probably arrest you right there and you will feel scared, but you do not talk to them without a lawyer.
Yes. It's solid advice for any young people out there.
I
Or
love that I'm
adults
just
who
teaching
haven't
my
heard it.
kids, a bunch of things about how not to be
How not to get in
convicted.
trouble. Yeah.
Really, I'm like, do not take your phone. Do not, not take your phone. Do not answer things. Don't crime. How about that? How about we just don't crime?
Don't do anything that's going to wind you up in the slammer.
Look, it's going to look really bad if I do true crime and I'm just sourcing my family for content, okay?
You got the inside scoop. Oh, dear.
Was attempted. How did you graduate to a ribbon?
Because in doing so, I had to... Sorry. There was a whole 3-day wait list. On the room before...
So, probably the real reason he didn't get a real force multiplier is you would have to register, and the feds would know that he bought a force multiplier while he is they have, basically, the feds do not bring a case against you unless they have all their evidence. They have a 96, I think, percent conviction rate.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there is a reason he didn't get a real force multiplier. And
Yeah.
it's not because, like, oh, it was the wait list. No, that is going to light up faster than, if O.J. Simpson got a force multiplier.
Well, the prosecutor had a good point about that, too. It's like, well, there's a wait list for handguns. Did you think of a shotgun? Like, well, no. It's because it would have worked.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is he, regardless of this fakakta story he tells about Nirvana and everything else, he is a proud and arrogant man. And this proud, arrogant man lost maybe the only thing that he figured he contributed, which is providing for his family. His whole entire life, his entire career was falling down around him. And instead of being a real man, growing a pair of testicles, telling his family, coming clean, because everything I've read about Megan, she would have stood by him and helped him rebuild his life. She would have moved back to Connecticut if he got, sent there for prison, because I don't know where they send him. But she would go back to probably being a physical therapist, working for someone else, and trying to repay their debts. But instead, he was like, I can't tell anyone. I'm going to make up this cockamamie story. And maybe people, cynically, I think he thought people would feel sorry for him. And maybe the feds would go light on him.
Yeah.
The mind boggles at this point. I mean, he is anatomically forced to manspread. It is the weirdest thing. Okay, weird question for a guy.
Yep.
And I'm trying to be delicate, but should you have to sit like that? Do the berries sometimes get tucked under and you actually sit on your berries? Because that seems like it would hurt.
I have not personally ever had that issue. I mean,
I love I'm just like, Vale, you have testicles. How does this work?
I mean, they do hang more towards the front than they do the back. So it's like
that's
they
what
have
I
a
thought.
tendency to go forward, not backwards.
Well, I don't know why I'm worried about his testicles, but, oh, well, good. Look, I worry about my boys. I don't have one of those. Look, boobs are hard enough for me. They get in the way. They're always ridiculous. You have to wear a bra. So I just assume that testicles are just as, ridiculous to deal with.
That would be funny. We could create ball bras. We'll have to call them bras, though. ball bros.
It's better than having to hawk a ball, though, so I'm kind of down for it.
You know, in the cartoons when they're shining bowling balls with a little towel, that's what I'm thinking. With like a little string to tie them up together.
I love that the chat has finally entered where Mo just goes anatomical and like physics. Like, how does this work? I have questions. This, again, why I couldn't be a cop. I'd be like, have you ever seen your peen? Like, when was the last time? How do you pee? Do you just kind of like stand and pray, or do you sit? I'm guessing you sit.
Yeah, that's a good. I mean, I guess if he wasn't T-Rex an arm at the moment, I mean, I guess he could like lift up with one hand and then get down under there.
Okay, you know what he needs? I shit you not. They have pregnancy like support belly things. That's what he needs, because it actually kind of lifts it up just a little bit. It's in theory supposed to make it feel like you don't have to go potty every 5 minutes. It doesn't do that, but it does, sometimes help your back.
Oh, like, oh Jesus!
All right, let's stop focusing on his undercarriage. The Kelly Blue Book value on that is just shit, though. Oh God, I need to sleep at this point.
Just days have passed. I mean, it would have been a bad idea. Every guy on it, it's one of those, it'll happen this way, it'll do it this way. Sometimes, when I took the Benadryl, I seriously went to sleep for like 2 days. This is like 2 days later, And
Where would you sleep at?
either next to Megan, in the attempt, or somewhere in that room. Sometimes right on the edge, on the floor down there, between the bed and the window.
Okay, as a multiple cat and children owner, I get that I get nose blind to some things. And oh my gosh, you guys, I am going to review this. This is completely off topic, but we got one of those automatic cat litter things. And I hope to God it works. It's supposed to alert your phone when it's full of turdlets, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, so you know how you can kind of go nose blind to things.
Yeah.
How can you sleep next to your decaying family? Like, I get maybe not smelling like a bunch of kid stuff or cat stuff if you're always in the house. But there's a limit.
Yeah, there's definitely a limit to that, I would think. I mean, I don't know. And unless maybe if he did, let's give him the benefit of the doubt that maybe he drank a bunch of Benadryl and maybe
We did not get that one.
he just didn't like maybe it knocked him out to the point where it like muted his senses or whatever. Like I don't know, because he
I
took
still
way too
don't
much.
buy that he was drinking all the Benadryl and out of his mind. I think he was trying to come up with a plan, because he does go out of the house several times.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I know he leaves it several times.
Thanks for the info,
but-
Justin Smith. I will definitely keep that in mind. But we did find one that was highly reviewed and kind of looked at it at a couple different things on it. So hopefully we didn't get the death spiral litter box.
God, there's a dark.
The
dark
final destination litter box.
Yeah, there's some dark things that you could go there. I mean,
Oh my
but,
gosh.
yeah.
Okay, also big rant. Okay, I look forward all year to my homemade sausage stuffing. I make it's my favorite thing. Like, I will eat an entire pan almost to myself.
I think Mo
My
does
stomach
too.
decided
Mr. Mo
to
does.
oh my God.
Sorry.
It's a beautiful day all in the
I
neighborhood too.
couldn't help it.
But my stomach decided to rebel both Thanksgiving, and I'm finally just now getting my appetite back. And I guess I was maybe running a fever or not paying attention, but I screwed up the stuffing. I have not been madder in my life. I usually gain 15 pounds in stuffing. Like, it's a carb. It has all the stuff. I just put some gravy on it. Don't even care about the turkey. I'm like, give me the sides.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I haven't eaten any of Thanksgiving stuff It's just so
Yeah.
sad.
I think because you and I have experienced similar issues in the last several days, and it's like, is this a sign of age? Is this what happens
We
when you get
both
older?
we have been Bob Barker spayed and neutered. Make sure your parents don't give you any more siblings. So if number 7 happens, look, I am making my own religion and running away to Wyoming.
It would be the Immaculate Conception.
Look, we lucked out with the youngest, most feral. It was 665. I just don't know that we can tempt fate. You guys have seen Final Seal or that Demi Moore movie where the apocalypse is happening? We
Yeah.
don't need to do that.
No need to tempt fate.
No.
Every time I said, well, let's try it. And it's like, well, now I got to depend on that particular to get back quicker. And then,
The power was on during this time frame?
yes.
What did you guys keep the temperature? Do you remember?
I don't, but I want to say, because I was in charge of it, because it was over there, 68.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Up in the room, I think there was like some, I don't know if they were humidifiers, I don't know if they were moisture, what were those?
Those are air purifiers.
Air purifiers. Were those there prior to?
The white one, and
Holy giblets in gravy sauce. This man is like, I have Himalayan rock salt lamps, so it should have, and hair purifiers. I don't know what everyone's talking about the stench. I also have some patchouli oil and incense.
Yeah, like, I mean, patchouli stinks, but
Yeah.
that ain't covering the smell of decomp.
No.
That's just not gonna happen,
Uh,
bro.
the absolute anachronistic sort of just completely contrary ideas of, I need to purify the air. Also, my family's, rotting before me.
Yeah, that too. There's
It's-
there's that whole angle.
I do believe he might. He's my one that's going to call me. He's going to become a Lou-tuber because my boys have a hard time with the yes sound. But he's like, I'm going to become a Lou-tuber and I'm going to do all cool things. This little giblet is going to call me as he's getting ready to base jump off of something. Like, guess what, Mom? I'm getting ready to base jump off of the Eiffel Tower. The cops are coming to get me. Subscribe and like. Doo-doo. Just,
Yeah. That
as
that
long as he's not as insufferable as that little kid who, like, almost killed people texting. I don't remember his name, but he's
Oh.
such a little turd. He like starts fights and then his bodyguard gets in because he's such a little turd Ferguson.
It's yes. Is it Jack Dordery or whatever?
That sounds right.
I can't remember. Yeah, he's a twat waffle. I'm sorry, but like
Oh my, he just
you're-
needs to be hit hard once, allegedly in Minecraft.
I have seen people swing and connect, but the
Oh,
problem
thank God.
is
I mean,
they
darn it.
that bodyguard is there all the time, and it's like people have caught him slipping though when he's like at a gas station with no bodyguards and stuff, and like they just approach him and like they mock him and stuff just like he does to other people, and it's like, yeah, you don't like it, do you, bro? Huh?
He is. I think that if my kids decided to do YouTube, I would hope that they don't become giant douchey McDouche faces
Yeah. Well,
because
like
I would yank their channel so fast.
Well, like there was this thing that happened. I can't remember. It was when I was in Tennessee. So like when I lived in Tennessee, there was a story that had come out about some YouTuber, don't remember his name, but what his shtick was, and I think this was during or around COVID, and this kid was going up to people and like prank pulling a knife on them. And he did this in Tennessee. And
Oh,
everybody in
well,
Tennessee basically
rest in
carries a
pieces.
gun. Yeah, that is exactly what happened. And of course, the guy got off in self-defense because he came running at him with a knife. So it's like, yeah, think before you do something stupid like that. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Every time I do, mornings with Mo, and it's like another YouTuber did something really, really dumb. I
Yeah.
don't feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for the person that, got pranked and then has to deal with, the consequences and the guilt and all the other stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's like people don't think before, like, what their actions are going to cause. People do not think that far in advance. It's like, and it's because most of these kids ain't never been punched in the face before. It's because they hide behind a screen. So,
Well, yeah, that people have gotten really big brass balls. It's easy to say the most horrendous, heinous stuff when you're behind a keyboard.
yeah. Like, and as the, I'm going to interject myself into your cabinet, as the new Secretary of Social Behavior.
Ooh, I like it. Not a credit score, but don't be a douche.
I'm going to bring back getting punched in the face.
Look, there are reasons that where paces where people are always packing are generally respectful, because you don't know, if someone is packing and you cross that line.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, that's the thing. And people don't get that usually what you can all be deputized. I'm going to need many people, many places to stop the horrendous entitlement and okay, I'm going to call it a cure for cranial rectitis. Now, some people are in the first stage and we can just pull it out by, simple maybe application of a pimp hand, allegedly in Minecraft. But some people are so far up their own, rectus, that they're going to have to do the full Lemmy Winks. It's going to be hard.
Yes.
Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg, I'm looking at you guys.
But as long as removal comes with a satisfying, I'll be happy.
Either that or an implosion. I do not know. I'm afraid that if we put them all in like Arizona and try to put crystals around them to respect their various thoughts and stuff. Okay, so here's my plan if I was an evil dictator. I love that we are so tangenting out on this point. But so evil dictator plan for Mo, day 1. Look, if you are a professional or just a person who cycles, I'm sending you all to Arizona, okay? I am so damn tired of some 40-year-old, 50-year-old guy in spandex, with maybe not, look, I get that you're bicycling for, reasons and, possibly weight loss, but you're also in spandex. You're also trying to wave me forward on a blind curve up a hill. No, you giant festering douchebag in spandex. I am not going to go across a double yellow line or a double white line, and get into a full-on final destination head-on crash just because you would like me to not be behind you. I would like you to not be on my road. So you're all going to Arizona because I hate Arizona. I am sorry. Being hot is not my jam. I don't care if it's dry heat. Trash cans melt on the pavement. Why are people there?
I lived in Arizona. I kid you not. I've had soles on the bottom, like the soles on the bottom of my shoes melt from walking on the sidewalk in Arizona.
It is. Look, it just sounds like the 10th circle of hell to me. So that's where I'm sending all the cyclists. It's an executive order. I understand that it lumps a group of people in, but I think by and large, the general populace will be with me. And really, do we want to listen to a bunch of angry bicycling activists? They'll be in Arizona.
True.
Look, I love living in the country. I love living in the hilly part of Indiana. But that necessitates that every weekend it is nice out. We have a group of a-holes in spandex trying to, be a flippin' traffic cop and tell me to move across when there's a dump truck coming towards my face.
Yeah, there's a big event here, like once a year. Like, I mean, people still cycle every day and stuff, but like there's usually like a big event that goes across the entire state, and like so you can plan ahead a little bit, like for problems and stuff with traffic. But, like, it's only like a week because it goes from like one side of the state all the way to the other. But you can plan around that. But I do understand what you're saying, because like it can be a problem. But a lot of places are starting to add cycling paths and things around.
Okay. I know it's probably not, it's okay, it's definitely bad. I'm going to have to explain this to all my priests when I go back to, Catholicism late in my life because I like the structure. But anywho, nothing amuses me more, and I should not laugh because this might be me in the future, but the people on the like supercharged motor-sized rascals that use the bike lane, they usually have like a flag on them, and they're just going. I saw one go through the Long John Silver's drive-through. I was just like, that's it. I'm getting me a rascal. I'm
That
supercharging
seems-
that sumbitch, and I'm going to Walmart.
That seems like an abuse of power going through the Long John Silver drive-through.
No
Like,
one
sir,
was
that is an
there.
abuse of power. Well, of course, it's a Long John Silver. But it's just, yeah.
I get Long John Silver's once a year, and then when the 97% oil reminds me why I don't get Long John Silver's,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember why I don't do this.
Yeah. I haven't even seen one. That's why I was like, they're still around when he said that?
I was just laughing because there was a Long John Silver's and a guy in one of those souped up rascals going through the drive-through. I was like, sir, you are my hero. I don't know if you know this, but you just made my day.
Yeah.
Oh my
That would be
gosh.
funny.
And that by the window was there, because we kept the air purifier going because we both had heavy allergies. It's a black one I brought in from the boys' room. Just to keep going. Don't use candles and that kind of stuff, and the sage smudges and that kind of stuff.
For what?
Sage smudges allow for spirits to pass on and that kind of stuff, so I wanted to make sure no one kept still.
There's candles for...
This a-hole was not smudging anything. He goes into one, Wicca store and he's like, just a random question, and this is all hypothetical, but say I have some family members that I've crossed over that I've decided to keep in a master bedroom. I'm pretty sure they might have some bad juju based on what I read on Quora. How many sage sticks would I need?
Yeah. 2 dozen, you say. Could I get 2 dozen? Actually, make it 3.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sage the hell out. We have ghosts. Sir, of all the things that you have said that are incredible, the sage smudging is the line crossed into absurdity for me. You are now
is
ad
ridiculous.
absurdum.
Yes.
It's-
Is
this is-
ridiculous.
And the absolutely hilarious meta kind of thing is that he absolutely believes that people will buy his story. He is so deep into Lemmy Wink's cranial rectitis that he believes, like, I'm going to spit this out and people are going to buy it because I am me.
Yeah. It's no different than like so many of the others that we have watched like this. Sarah Boone, Daryl
Yeah.
Brooks, Chandler Halderson. Like it's ridiculous that people believe that they're such good liars. I actually just saw one the other day with oh god, she killed her husband and buried him in the backyard. Shiver?
Shiver.
Yes. I just saw that the other day and I was like, because I had forgotten all about it. And apparently she just got sentenced. But yeah.
Yeah. It is just so absolutely odd to me that people like this, that I don't know if he just doesn't have an internal monologue, because I'm going to say this. Look, my mean voice, my inner mean voice self, she may be a bitch, but she is effing funny. Because so I was telling Vale earlier that I have gone down the rabbit hole of this whole Mayday airplane crash kind of reconstruction documentary series. I think it's called Mayday or something. I love it. And I don't even know why. Well, maybe because they find out the answer and I like that there's closure. But where was I going with that?
I have no idea.
It'll come back to me. Oh, so I was getting all teary-eyed at the end because there were survivors, and I was like, gosh. And then one of the survivors said, we just have to be kind and pay it forward. And I was like, oh my God, that is such a Canadian thing to say.
Oh,
And
it's
then I'm like, you
Canadian.
are a horrid. I was like, my inner voice is a bitch, but she's funny because I was like, yeah, that really is a Canadian thing to say.
I mean, she's not wrong.
I don't get how people can't have an inner monologue. I mean, not to brag or anything, except to my therapist and my eventual team that will, reshape the DSM-6 to explain me. But I have so many points of views in my head and so many different like internal monologue things that I don't know. Like, does he hear circus music? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I don't understand that either. Like the people who don't hear what is it, like 11% or something of society doesn't have like an inner monologue or like a voice in their head or whatever.
Okay, when I am president, we might send all those people to somewhere nice like Rhode Island
Yeah.
or somewhere small. But we need to keep I don't know what y'all are planning.
Yeah. Because those, to me, that's like terrifying that people don't have a inner
Oh,
monologue or voice in their head that they hear.
okay. So I remember where I was going with she's a sarcastic bitch. I love that these trains
Oh.
circle back sometimes. All right. So I was getting kind of maudlin and, back into my pity party kind of attitude. And my inner bitch was like, oh my God, I didn't know we became emo. Are we going to go hang out at Hot Topic and listen to, bad punk rock?
Uh, that's
And I was
funny.
like, yeah, I am getting, yeah, she keeps me in check because she's usually the one sitting there with Dr. Now, like, oh, I see we've chosen, chubbiness rather than a summer body. Awesome. Awesome. Good job. Like it's Wednesday. Glad we could keep that motivation for Monday and Tuesday. You're doing great. Next week we'll get to Wednesday.
Yeah, well, it's it's nice to have one though, like to have one of those inner voices that does keep you in check, like
Well,
that.
yeah, because my inner voice would say, no, I'm totally going to say that we did some Eastern woo woo and I smudged it and all of this is going to fly. And my inner voice would be like, this is the dumbest story that has ever dumbed. How about we try again? Maybe just say ninjas did it. We'll pull a Jodi Arias. Like my voice would be all
Yeah,
sarcastic and stupid.
mine would most likely be like, "Do you hear yourself? Like, do you hear yourself talking?"
It's
Like,
just my mind pulls up the, principle from Billy Madison. And I'm like, okay, all right, I get it. It was a dumb idea. Damn. Like you could have just told me no.
yeah.
Or for the same reason. Yep.
Yeah, but God forbid we light a candle in, the decomp
So
house.
it's been some time. We weren't found, or we didn't get there till what, Monday, which would have been the what, 12th maybe, 13th. What were you doing during this time frame? We're talking over 2 weeks.
Trying to kill myself.
Were you leaving the home? Were you going over to the other place in Georgetown or whatever it is?
I went over to the other place once because my daughter really, really, really wanted her Mickey Mouse, necklace. So I went up into the condo to see if I could get the Mickey Mouse necklace to find it in the jewelry box, and I couldn't find it.
So hold on a second. Okay,
So she didn't get it.
I did a little math for you.
Yes.
Okay, so he said, what have you been doing in that 2 week period of time? And he said he was trying to unalive himself. All right, folks.
Yes.
That is 336 hours.
I go back to antifreeze exists. So
I
he
mean,
was willing to drink motor oil per his testimony. There wasn't antifreeze in there.
it's Florida. There's lots of water. There's alligators in
There's
the water.
gators. Like you don't even have to just, put your toe in and pretend you're a chihuahua. Look,
Yeah,
y'all Floridans are like the Australians of America. I do not get it. You have pythons, you have gators, you're constantly losing pets to monster gators. they show up at your front door like freaking little miniature dinosaurs.
But this was
No,
also,
why?
but he's in Celebration, so this would have been around the time, right? Do y'all remember that video that went
Oh,
around where the I think it was a kid got eaten by an alligator? Like, it was a big alligator.
oh, that was so sad. I mean, the family was from like Oklahoma or one of the
Yeah.
landlocked states that don't have gator pup or what is it, swamp puppies.
Yeah, but it's like it would have been right around that time. So like that gator would have definitely big enough to eat him. So it's like I don't. There's just so many other ways. But 336 hours, he quote unquote was making an attempt to unalive himself.
I mean, a car in a garage. I'm not trying to, I mean, I'm not Cora or anything, but I have seen a lot of things. I mean,
Yeah,
it, bottom line, he didn't want to go. He is lying. He spent 3 weeks trying to figure out if he could get away with his family absolutely disappearing.
yeah,
My bet is he was getting ready to torch the place.
yeah. I think that like for some reason I have Bohemian Rhapsody in my head. We will not let him go.
Let him go.
In my head.
Beelzebub has a devil put aside for Todt, for he, for Turtler.
That my brain just like switched and went that direction. I don't even remember.
Oh
what I was
God, it's
saying.
contagious. I know. I didn't realize that my ADHD was viral. I am so sorry.
That's funny. Well, that's usually how my brain works, but it for whatever mid sentence it just decides like, oh, shiny.
I know why my brain is always like, do you want to see this meme? It's really funny. No, I would actually like to do what. Okay, we're gonna play the meme. Have fun with that.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I'm trying to be good. What? Oh my God, this is hilarious. Let's watch the next one.
Yeah. Exactly.
And was that the only time you left?
No, I would leave every time I would be up, so I need to go get either more alcohol, more Benadryl.
Oh my God, he had to get a handle like Sarah. Oh my God. Fucking imagine if he, Sarah Boone, like met each other at the Publix when she's getting like the bottle of vodka and he's getting the bottle of vodka and Benadryl and they're both like having a party. Yes, I am.
Yeah. That would
my
be the
gosh.
strangest thing. It's like,
Yeah, I ran into this chick. It was weird. She was kind of mean and surly. She
I
had the
liked
Karen
her.
haircut though, so I wasn't, surprised. She had these
Yeah.
really high pink shorts on. I'm kind of confused about the whole thing.
yeah. Well, I mean, but this is Tony we're talking about. He probably thought it was hot.
Yeah.
So
Oh, he probably stunk to high hell, so she got done thinking, "Oh my God, no one wears deodorant. I don't. He needs the Sarah in his life to better him. Maybe he'll
Yeah.
be my next project."
yeah, it's to put some of these people together in the same room would be like
Y'all,
amazing.
second executive order. I am making ISO cubes and like 90-day fiance type prisoner buddy comedy or enemy comedy, matchups. We are going to solve the debt by crowdsourcing. Like you can, pay to get glitter bombs. You can pay to, just see your insults through the ISO cube. As I have often said, I don't give a crap what Geneva says. This is not Geneva. It's America. And the national anthem will also be the parody national anthem will be Team America. F yeah.
Yeah, America. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Oh my. Okay, so we are way off the course, but my husband had never seen that movie. Now, this is a pivotal movie in just my life. I don't know why it just hit that just absolute sweet spot of what the hell are these puppets doing? And oh my God, these puppets are doing this is hilarious. And the
Yes.
songs, oh my God, Pearl Harbor sucked. Just
Yeah, like they would never get away with making that today.
oh my God, when they made him into
It's so
Merca durka durka. Merca durka durka.
they could never make that movie today. It's so funny and it is wildly offensive
Okay,
to
so-
some.
Do you know, so I know a little bit of trivia about this, but you know that first little bit where it's actually the puppet doing a marionette?
Yeah.
Okay, so when they first opened, Matt and Trey basically sent that out to the studios and the backers, like, this is what we have. And everyone was like, oh shit, what did we just commit to? Because they didn't let them see the full movie, which might be why it has.
Yeah.
Like, what happened to Alec Baldwin at the end of that movie just makes me want to watch it all the time. Allegedly. I was upset that Janine Garofalo went, but, you know,
So the only
preachy
part
actors.
the only part about that movie that I don't like, and it's probably because it's puppets, is the whole like sex scene. It's just weird. I'm sorry.
Gratuitous. It's so
just
wrong.
weird.
It's the weirdest thing. You're like, what am I watching? And oh my, you can do that? Well, I guess you could do if you were skin. I mean, I don't know if gravity didn't exist and I was held on by strings. I'm pretty sure wow, she's flexible.
It was just like, oh Jesus. It's like,
And it was like 5 minutes. It was just,
yeah, it was way too long. It was like
Okay, so-
uncomfortably.
so the thing is, Mr. Mo had never seen it. So I bought it on iTunes or whatever you do. And
Yeah.
I was like, we need to watch this movie, but we cannot watch it around the kids because they're going to think it's a kid's movie.
Yeah.
So we would start to watch it, and I swear, as soon as the Smex like scene forever starts, all of my kids come in and they're like, "What are those puppets doing?" I'm like, "God damn it, click, what the hell? God damn it, Wi-Fi, come on! Oh fuck!" And I'm like, "Nothing."
That would be difficult to explain away.
So I mean, it took us about 4 days for him to watch the entire movie, and he's like, "What is wrong with you?" And I was like,
It's-
"I don't know, but this movie is awesome."
It is. It's hilarious.
Oh, I tried to give Sausage Party a chance. I really did. Seth Rogen, if you're in the mood for Seth Rogen comedy, which is basically, dude, I'm high,
Yeah.
it's good, but Sausage Party was just god awful. It was like when I was watching the Barbie movie and I was actively rooting for the Reese Cup advert. That's kind of how I felt in Sausage Party. I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, I haven't seen that, but I saw like previews and stuff for it, but it didn't seem very interesting.
No, I mean, and I think, you know, Team America World Police kind of hit that sweet spot of goofy slapstick, but also commentary, but it was both sides commentary, so it kind
Yeah.
of was smart enough to be dumb, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, but that's why South Park has been so successful, is because they kind of hit that sweet spot of
Yeah.
that exact same thing, where it's like they can make fun of everybody and everything, and it's just funny. Like, it just is.
Oh yeah. So anyway, that's my story. I may have exposed my children to Team America. I swear to goodness, because they would be gone for like, 15 minutes, and I'm like, it's safe to go back. And then they would creep in like flipping SEAL Team 6, like rappelling from the ceiling as soon as something would come on, that was well, like
Risque.
every 2 seconds.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. It's a funny movie, though.
When the cat came out and she used her mind control, it was a cat. I'm gonna have to watch that again
I
now.
know I'm going to need to watch it again now.
You guys now know what I'm going to be doing right after this. I'm going to be cross-stitching and watching Team America,
Yeah.
not, watching the documentary that I'm supposed to be doing and making notes on.
Oh, too funny.
And just food. As we try to get through this.
Publix or fast food or
I'm getting food to prolong my life as I continually attempt to lose it.
Yeah. Makes sense. I mean, right?
I mean, you're getting ready to meet your maker. Who's not going to stop for a Big Mac? I mean, Dr. Now can go straight to hell. You are going to Nirvana. Who cares about some fluffiness?
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Who cares?
Yeah, like supersize me and a Diet Coke, please.
Yeah, get leaded. Don't get unleaded.
Oh,
Get,
yeah. Get a Coca-Cola, and if God has blessed you, get yourself a McFlurry, sir. Because it's the last one you're ever going to have.
yeah, exactly. It's like, make it your last meal thing.
Go to Burger King, have it your way, because you're never going to have it that way again. It's probably never going to be your way ever again, Tony.
I was
Sorry,
gonna say.
you're a little arrogant, smarmy, and you kind of remind me of Sarah Boone. So I'm guessing that prison and understanding that you can't just pop off with your little snarky, I'm going to call it catty behavior.
Yeah.
It's
He's
not
not
gonna
gonna
work.
he's not gonna do well, I don't think. He probably
No, I
hasn't
think
done
it's
well.
no, and I'm not bothered.
Yeah.
In Mo's presidency and her administration, we're kind of okay. I mean, we're not advocating Gen Pop justice, but should certain prisoners happen to go in places where I don't know the guards are asleep for forever and somehow the family comes in and I don't know how that happened. I mean,
I think that's just called Fulton County.
oh my God. I don't know how she got reelected. I really don't. But I completely understand. I'm not from the area. I don't understand the politics like a person that lives there. So I'm not going to mock the intelligence of those voters because I think, look, not to get all on a soapboxy or thing, but I am. Instead of maybe assuming that the other side are a bunch of morons that have the collective brain power of Tony Todt, maybe, just maybe, humble yourself just a bit to think, maybe I don't understand the actual day-to-day there.
Yep.
Maybe this sounded like a really good plan.
Yep.
Maybe they were lied to and told that this would work.
Yeah. It's crazy. But like if you guys not have seen like the report that the feds did on Fulton County, proceed with
It made
caution.
me so mad. It made me
Yeah.
so mad. I had to go watch plane crashes to feel better, which, God, please, someone send a team of psychologists.
Yeah, but if you're interested at all, like I would suggest proceeding with caution because there is some fairly disturbing stuff in there. So if you're sensitive about SA and things like that, just steer clear. But if you're curious at all and you're not like, very sensitive to those kind of things, like I would encourage you to because it's wildly fascinating, but it is very disturbing. So,
Okay, Vale, I have a crazy thought, and I know I'm not a politician, so I'm just going to sell an idea and,
Yeah.
maybe put it out there and not. But maybe there could be a process by which we separate the wheat from the chaff. Let's be real. We cannot rehabilitate everyone. Let's
Yeah.
keep those, unrehabilitatable people in prisons. Let's make communities, secure communities, but where people can learn, people that can be helped, people that can really improve themselves. Let's give them a trade. Let's give them a skill. We are in a drought of actual people that have vocational skills. And the one thing that the studies have shown is you give people who want to achieve purpose, they get pride in themselves, they get achievements, and usually that snowballs into being a better human. So maybe
Yeah.
we could treat the people that are redeemable like human beings. And the people that, can't be redeemed, we just keep them in freaking jail. How about we do that?
On principle, I like what you're saying. My only issue with what you're saying is that who gets to decide who's redeemable?
Crap. I can't be everywhere. How do you feel about cloning?
How what?
How do you feel about cloning? I'm pretty sure we could get a herd of Mo's going here pretty soon.
I mean, it worked for the sheep, so we could try. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything.
Mo one.
I
Have you
say
seen
that, and it's gonna-
Multiplicity?
Yes,
I
I
love
have.
that movie. Hey,
Yes.
Teve. Another
Yeah.
movie they couldn't make because 4 now.
Yeah. There's so many movies that were hilarious back in the day that it couldn't make. Like, yeah, like I don't even think they could
Okay.
make Wayne's World.
I know who gets to decide. We get experts like psychologists, but we closely screen them for any ideological sway. So we want someone that's fairly neutral. If Jordan B. Peterson could be cloned also, that would be great. And he'll just sit there and say, like, have you cleaned your room? and they'll be like, no, I should probably go clean my room. And then he'll come back and give life experts. But we also have a panel of citizens who live in the locality where they are. And those people decide if those crimes, they just don't feel comfortable. And then, it comes together and there's a vote.
So you're saying the community should be involved in what's going on in their community? Is that what you're implying, Mo?
Yes.
Huh.
And mandatory
novel
service
idea.
conscription for 18-year-olds. Now, I'm not saying military. I am saying that we have many needs. We have many lonely people. There's a loneliness epidemic out there, allegedly. I mean, I don't understand people that want a people, but apparently we need to do it because social creatures and evolution. And I just don't understand why people don't get, I'm an indoor cat. I really don't. But 18-year-olds, we are getting 18-year-olds that have a dearth of life skills. So it's basically a year of life skills. And you get put in, opportunities. If you're a dude that just wants to be outdoors, maybe we teach you how to be a smoke jumper or how to work on forest fires. It's like, that's easy for me to say, like Yogi Bear. Or you work in a daycare, or you work in an elderly home, or you work to deliver meals, things like that. Where you get in touch with your locality. You're not going to go somewhere like Guam. You're going to go to your locality and fill needs. It basically would be like volunteering, but you also, live in a teen community, a young adult community, and you're taught how to, I don't know, balance a checkbook. What is credit? What is profit loss? How do I make a budget? How do I fix a tire? And things like that. So you learn life skills.
Yeah, so it sounds like, Mo, you're describing a thing that I believe where you're going to serve somebody else instead of yourself. That's kind of what it sounds like.
I said I was an anti-politician. I want to solve problems. I'd like to be voted out because I've solved problems.
Yeah.
Not stay here forever and be like, look, we're throwing money at the homeless issue. We just don't know. We're going to solve it. War on poverty. How are those wars on things going? The war on poverty? No one's poor anymore?
Yeah. It's one of those things that, like, I heard somebody say, and I can't remember where I heard it said, but it's like, if you're going to, before you have, I think it was Marcus Luttrell actually, is that, so before you, and I'm going to say her in reference to America, because that is how the quote is said. So before you exploit her for your own gain, you're going to serve her. So you need, in
it
some
makes
way.
me kind of sad that I'm basically running on the JFK thing, ask not what your country can do for you. And I'm not getting to bang Marilyn Monroe. I feel like I've been robbed.
To be fair, Mo, you're also not getting shot in the head.
Well, I also wouldn't drive without the bulletproof thing. Especially when I pissed off the CIA. I'd be like, Hoover's a pervert. I've got pictures. Try me, bro.
And we would get, like, instead of like Pope Mobile, we'll have the Mo-mobile.
I'm going to soup me up a rascal. I'm going to be in plexiglass. Look, I would like to live. Thank you. The end. Are you scared? Yes, people are crazy. Have you met them lately? Oh my God, we have so. Wolfram, you're supposed to send the thing that says somewhere you're in a place with no boundaries, but the stream is ahead.
Yeah.
Be unburdened by this tangent and go forward with the stream.
And to be fair, just so everybody knows, because I know we've gone way off topic, just so everybody knows, we had a plan and it didn't involve any of this.
Yeah, we were going to get the stream done.
We were going to get this done. We always have a plan.
What we might do, I notice we tangent more when it kind of lags or it lulls. So what we might do next week is skip forward to the testimony because I'm going to be doing a speed run on this trial this week. That is my goal, whether it is achievable or not. Because I will, let's see, on the crap, I need to remember those dates. Okay, sometime in the middle of December, I am going to try 3 infusions to see how they work for me. So I will be using a laptop and in a hotel room. We do have to check if there's Uber up there.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
But hey, it's only in the figurative sense. I'm never going to literally speed run. Look,
Have you
even when
seen-
I was fit and healthy, I still looked like someone pissed off at the world.
Yeah. It's like, have you seen gamers that speedrun? Come on, bro. It's a thing.
I just need to get Mr. Mo is going to Walmart. I need to get a whole thing of, is it Game Fuel or Monsters?
It used to be Game Fuel. I think that was by Mountain Dew, I think.
Okay, I need to get Zero, Mountain Dew Zero, Baja Blast, of course. Duh. Is there any other reason? And some of the, Monster energy drinks, zero sugar, and we are going to get through this trial. Allegedly. I'm totally not going to tangent.
The Tony's part is the best. And I suspect we will be stopping a lot because there is some great moments.
Yes. Yes. So that's why I think it won't be oversaturation of Turdler, because I think it'll give you more context. And then when we make fun of it, because I'm going to be good on the trial stuff, it is nice to have legal shenanigans theater because it's kind of my stabby day. We kind of tangent off. We do generally try to allegedly have a point. Sometimes.
I mean, the problem is we have lots of points. Just none of them are connected to each other.
It's more nebulas of thought. That's how I've always explained my thought process. I was like, it's more nebulas of thought rather than linear.
In
And-
legalese, there's no nexus.
Yes. Facts not in evidence, if you will. We have a plan. Facts not in evidence. Lack of foundation and provably false.
Yes. Even though foundation, Jesus. Okay. There's this lady, apparently. She's European. I think she's Swiss. They apparently
no.
call her the cat lady. And she
Oh, God.
allegedly calls her looks because, like, on her Swiss genetics. This woman has had so much plastic surgery and won't admit it.
Oh,
and
is that the
holy
one
crap.
that has the... Those people, and then there's the twins that look like Siegfried and Roy exploded, and...
She looks just like them.
Look, ladies, I love cheekbones. Look, some of us have them. Some of us thus are retaining Dunkaroos from their childhood, okay? What is
Yeah.
it with the puffed up lips? Look, I get it. Everyone would like to have full lips, but this drawing outside the lines, does anyone feel really weird? I tried it once and I was like, this looks clownish on me.
Yeah. Like, it looks ridiculous. I'm sorry. It looks terrible. Like, when people put on too much, even when women put on too much makeup, like, it can look really bad. Like, it's supposed to be an enhancer of your features, not a changing of them. At least that's
Yeah,
my
that's what-
understanding.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, no amount of primer, spackle, and possibly sanding is going to make me look like Halle Berry. It's not going to work. I mean, for a couple reasons. Let me
was
say
gonna
Angelina
say.
Jolie. Okay, Halle Berry is she's, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful people in the world. Now, I don't agree with anything that she says beyond what she says that other people have written, but I do think she's one of the more attractive people in the world. So she's always my go-to. I'm always like, can you airbrush me like Halle Berry? And people look at me because I honestly don't think of her being tanner than me.
Yeah. I was like, I think there's another problem you haven't thought of yet, Mo.
Well, there's a lot of problems I don't think of until 3 a.m. And then I'm like, oh my God, what if a bear and tiger attacked me at the same time? How would I MacGyver my way out of this?
Ooh, that's a good question.
It really is. Like, could I get the bear and the tiger to, fight each other?
Oh, you
No,
could do
I
that.
am not Justin Smith.
I just saw that.
Okay, no. So let me tell you about that sort of stuff. So remember the mock trial that we
Yeah.
did with Shizzy and Baker? My character was Kareen Pajit, or Patel. Sorry. Now, I'm going on Baker's channel and I'm thinking, oh dear God, I am a, convenience store manager. I am about every stereotype beyond a poo. I cannot nuke Baker's channel. So I turned it to Karen because I was like, yeah, there's a whole lot of ways I could play this character, and I'm not doing any of the ones that you're thinking.
And all of them are wildly offensive.
Yeah, I was like, and I'm not a prime minister of Canada. I don't think I'm going to get away with this. I used to do drama. Okay, can I bitch about something Canadian?
Yeah.
The way y'all say drama, he was a drama teacher. I don't know why that bothers me so much. I have like my absurd hatred of Red Red Wine by UB40. I just hate it with a passion of 1,000 suns. As everyone should.
It's it was I was
Oh,
God.
thank goodness, DK Cripple.
Oh my God, there was a word I heard this morning that was so Minnesotan that I can't remember what it is now. And I was just like, oh my God, you said that like a Minnesotan. I don't remember what it was. Oh, I need to say the word drama. Drama?
All right, you're allowed to not go to Arizona, Vale. You've passed the test.
I don't understand.
Again, this is why I
drama.
can't seek power, because I would be like, things that annoy me are going to Arizona.
People who say the word drama funny. It's kind of like the y'all people up in Washington decide to put an R between the A and the S in Warsh. And then you
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's an Indiana thing too. That's like, go get a wash rag. I'm like, do what now?
yeah, it's like I don't
I was like,
understand
I would
that.
like to. I raised my hand. I'm like, how the hell did I fail spelling when y'all say wash?
Yeah,
I was set up. It was entrapment.
exactly. I had my, I think she was, hold on, fourth grade. My fourth grade teacher said "warsh," and she, of the way that we did it in Dodd's schools, where you had one teacher that basically taught everything, and so
Oh yeah.
she did reading and spelling and all that, and it's like, but she would say "warsh," and it's like, but there's an R there, and it's like the way that she was saying it. And she's like, no, it's Washington. And I'm like, yeah, you're putting an R in there. And she's like, well, that's not how it's spelled. And it's like, then stop saying it like that.
Mass. Okay, so I am guessing that there were some crystals or possibly peyote involved in making Arizona. Not the entire state doesn't make sense to me.
Yes. And
And it contains Jodi Arias, and I think we've just decided no. I'm
Yeah.
afraid Sal's going to have to come out of the, forced encampments of cyclists. I'm like, sorry, Sal, you're going to have to move out of Arizona.
yeah, like I lived in Phoenix for 2 years, and the city is laid out really nicely because it is just like a huge grid. But like it's way too damn hot. Like
Oh, hell no. There is a deer in my backyard. They are coming for me. Mr. Mo sends me a video of deer. I'm like, it's probably the same bastard that caused me to fall. He's catching up on his progress. Like,
He's
did I
checking in on
unalive
ya.
her? He's like, I'm gonna get you. Just when you think it's safe to walk outside with your walker.
He's just
It's so
checking
funny.
in.
If we ever had to become self-sufficient, there is a Tom turkey that brings this harem around all the time. It's hilarious because, you just see the male turkey and then a bunch of the little harem.
Does he have a cane?
No, but he has Swayzer. If you watch Baker, he has
Swayzer.
Swayzer.
Yes, it's the Swayzer. Oh, everybody does.
Everybody. Oh my gosh. You know what? Pinnacle of my YouTube career, I get what's his face on, Doug, and we just have a fireside chat. I mean, he just tells me all about how, one day I got me a full case of Pabst Blue Ribbon. That is the best stuff. Right cold out of the can. I had an igloo cooler full of ice. Anyway, I met up with some Hell's Angels. And long story short, I ended up ruling the gang for a little bit. Do what now? I mean, that's how I imagine it would go. Or like, do you want to see this scar? Let me tell you how I got this scar. And I would just sit there enraptured for hours, just listening to this man talk, trying not to belly laugh, rolling on the floor.
Can you explain what everybody has means? And I want to break this down. I want to break this down with this guy's wife and then your mother. Or mother-in-law or whatever it was. It's like we need to break them down
I had
individually.
so much fun dressing up as him. I broke Baker. That was my entire goal. I planned this for a year. Like I got the sleeves that have the tattoos on them. I found an old guy polo shirt, slicked my hair back, had some wrinkles. And then I put up signs like, have you seen a harlot, a Jezebel, my mother-in-law?
Yeah. The funny thing is that guy, for whatever reason, I can never remember that guy's name.
I can't. I always call him Doug for. I don't know.
He reminds me of Jesse Ventura.
Oh my God, he does. He's
For some reason.
Look, I'm just asking questions, but have you ever thought about why fluoride's in our water? They are trying to calcify our pineal gland, and yes, it does sound like peen, but it is important.
If he wasn't from Minnesota, he could pronounce it right.
Well, I mean, why would you pronounce that word right? I would always emphasize the peen, and then enial would be lost.
Yeah. It's, oh, Jesus. Oh, jeez. Oh.
Welcome to Legal Shenanigans Theater, where we just ramble. All right. Let's hear what he got. Did he get a Big Mac or did he go to Burger King?
I fast food, unfortunately, but I thought it worked out. Went to McDonald's once or twice.
That good old McDonald's fast.
Well, it was funny. He's like, I fasted, unfortunately.
Look, it is the true and odd and honest feeling when you are starting a diet and you are fluffy, like, I am doing this. God could at least award us an ab at the end of the week, like if we've done really good. Like, here's one ab just to keep you going.
Yeah, a little motivation.
Yeah.
But
Have to wait 8 damn weeks for anyone to notice you're doing something.
The part that's irritating though about like what he just said is like he was going to McDonald's like once or twice, but you wouldn't eat like a slice of pie or whatever the crap it was that he wouldn't eat because he was on a diet and had his protein shake. It's like, come on. It's like,
well, I mean, if you're gonna meet St. Peter, why not have it your way one more time?
I have questions.
Dude, this dude started off with a McMuffin and a McGriddle plus extra hash browns. And then he was like, for lunch, he's like, I fasted all 4 hours. I don't know how I'm not, dead yet. He's like, but I need sustenance to keep thinking of plans on how to end it. So, and It's not a joke. Look, if you are suffering for real, call the hotlines, please. Do not make a permanent choice for a temporary situation. And I know things can look really dark, but don't snuff out your life. Please get, you know, on the hotline, reach out to someone. You know, there are resources out there.
Yes.
Now, but however, this douche canoe,
He could have tried a little harder.
it, it's like people, when your parents say, like, I walked uphill both ways. I had a paper route when I was 18 months old. Instead of getting toys, my dad handed me a can opener and said, get a job.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I mean,
I didn't
that's the only
understand
problem
that.
with being a 90s kid. It's kind of like, okay, you guys don't understand. We had TGI Friday, we had Sabrina, we had Family Matters, we had Step by Step. You guys just don't understand how hard it was to wait until Friday. You had to watch like CNN and Geraldo, and sometimes shit would happen and then they would bump it for damn news.
Yeah. Yeah, and what was it like? We had Ricky Lake, we had
Oh my gosh.
Sally,
Sally,
Donahue.
Jesse, Raphael,
Yeah.
Maury. We
And-
still have Maury.
And of course, everyone's favorite, we had Jerry.
Oh my gosh, Jerry Springer. So, fun story to end out this because it's only mildly cringy and it's from my childhood. So, I did not date in high school. I didn't date. I thought all the boys were stupid. And I was kind of okay with just thinking that boys matured in reverse dog years. So technically, I'd have to find a 40-year-old, and I thought that was kind of illegal. So, you know, I just didn't date. So my brother tried to set me up with his friend, and his opening line was, I was on Jerry Springer. And I was like, yeah, no. So my mom was like, your brother says that you acted all uppity to his candidate. And I was like, Mom, he was on Jerry Springer. I think I'm making an okay choice here. Now, I did happen to marry my second boyfriend, and maybe I could have used more discernment.
Maybe you could have used that Jerry Springer experience.
Oh my gosh. But I love how my mom got all like, you're never going to find someone if you are always judgmental. And I was like, have you met me? I'm just Daria here waiting for my Tom.
I
just-
mean, sometimes it's good to be a little judgy.
It's been a long time, but I believe it was romantically related. So I'm assuming there was a stripper named Chastity involved. But that's just my headcanon.
Or a cousin.
Or a cousin.
That's a first cousin, not a second. Or third.
Yeah. Okay. Here's my Maury, women, ladies. Again, drawing on my mega experience of being pregnant, there is only one day that can generally happen. How the hell have you brought 15 men and still don't know who your baby daddy is? And then how do you maintain the emotional instability to wail and cry and run off and possibly lose your wig every time you're told no?
I mean, all I can say to bring it back to something we talked about earlier is that's a whole lot of Little Debbie, if you know what I mean.
Those Maury episodes are my guilty pleasure. I don't know. It is like rubbernecking at a train wreck, and you're just here to watch everything crash and burn. That is my worst, trait. If I could change anything, it would be possibly don't get high on Schadenfreude.
Yeah. There's so many, like, I remember, like, there was this transition in all of those or whatever talk shows or whatever they were called back then. Like, there was this transition that happened like mid 90s where everything got like super like sleeping with cousins or sisters or moms or whatever. Like, everything just like went way off the rails. And like, oh, like I've got 20 candidates to be my baby dad or whatever. And it's like, wait a second. And it's like, weren't we just talking like last week about like your deep emotional feelings and how it is that you missed this connection with this one person in your life. And it's like, and now we're talking about like how many loads you took because you don't understand who your potential baby daddy is on this one day a month. It's like, Jesus, lady.
I am just shocked you have like time management, because generally they have other kids too, and I'm just like, okay. Apparently they make priorities about the romance. Maybe I need to remind Mr. Like, this chick has 78 baby daddies.
He wants that sausage stuffing.
Oh my God. I do. I really do. But the food one, I'm going to remake the stuffing. It will not conquer me this year. I swear to goodness.
Oh God, John.
Not if you're royalty or in the South or in the, I think, 11 states that allow at least second cousin, possibly first cousin marriage.
Yeah, and there's
That's another thing. When I'm president, no child marriage. I don't care if it's your culture. It's not mine. And kids cannot consent to getting married. You're gross and disgusting.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but if you're not old enough to, in this country, to drink, smoke, go to war, you're not old enough to get married. I'm sorry.
No, I was 21 when I got married the first time, and I was too young.
I mean, what is it, at 25 for most people? I know it's not an exact science, but for most people, especially men don't fully develop until their full frontal cortex doesn't develop until 25.
I was going to say 72.
I mean, if it was me, I'd probably say it's probably pushing closer to 30. But,
Yeah.
We'll go with the science for now.
You know what I would love? Okay, so I think we can all baseline agree that in our early 20s, we are what I like to call kidults. Like, but what I would love most is to go back to that overwhelming optimism and confidence that I know stuff, like I know everything, and older boomers like just don't understand anything. I'm going to revolutionize thing. If I could have that confidence back, that's the only thing I want back from my early 20s.
Yeah. And is there a shotgun involved? Would be my question to this. But
I don't know.
It's also an outlier, and it's like it's one of those things that it's like you're both kids, like you did what you did. And it's like
you're not.
Yeah.
If you are deeply in love, marriage is all about growing with a person, and sometimes that growth is hard, and sometimes it's
Jesus.
hard to learn how to communicate with your partner. That's a lot to put on a 16-year-old plus, having to learn a new human stuff.
Yeah. My mind is fully on in the gutter.
I was
Gross
over
or
here,
hard.
I was well, you know what?
I know what you
Look,
mean, Mo. I'm just
Mr.
totally
Mo
in the
thinks
gutter.
farting in my general direction and then allowing me to be assaulted by the smell without warning is either, I'm guessing, a boy way of showing he's interested or a biological weapon that he's showing from his species.
Is it maybe he's like you know how like cats and dogs they rub all over things to like get their scent on everything. Maybe that's Mr. Mo's way.
No, it's just gross. I'm surrounded by farting, burping boys. What happened? I was stuck with girls. I was used to the hormones. Now I'm. What is wrong with you people?
Your advice, though, that advice that you gave about if you're not comfortable farting in front of the person that you're dating, you shouldn't be sleeping with them.
That's it. I'm making a parenting book. Weird shit I've said that makes sense but might be too blunt.
I think there's a lot of validity to that.
Okay, so what Vale is talking about is I sat my girls down, my two older girls, when they got to be in high school, and I don't know where I thought of this, but I did think of this, and I basically said, if you are not comfortable passing gas around someone, you are not ready to sleep with them. You are not in a deep enough relationship. it may be, you know, nice, but, or for girls, we do a lot of attachment to this act, and for boys, it is just an act. So, you know, you need to be comfortable enough to do that in order. And my girls looked at me like I had scarred them for life. I am sure they will be telling Oprah's head in a jar, not because she was unalived, but because it's Futurama. Oprah, don't come for me. She's skinnier now, so she might catch up to me. I'm just saying. And good for you, ma'am. Take care of your health, whatever. I'm not trying to piss off Oprah. I do want to get that free shit day one day.
You get a car. You get a car.
Oh my
Everybody
gosh.
gets a car.
But that's what I told my girls. Now, to me, it made logical sense, but I'm sure it could have been put more delicately. But I have found that subtle doesn't work.
Yeah.
So, and it's not like they're new hires. They've been around me a while. They know that, that this is the stuff that's going to...
They've been
my
through
gosh.
the HR training before.
the non-HR training. So, okay, as a 90s kid, okay, this is going to be offensive to some people, and I know it's probably wrong, and I shouldn't be giggling at it, but the boys have started to use the pejorative G word to talk about each other. And I'm guessing, and as a 90s kid, I'm like, hell yeah. You say it. You take that word back, young man. And then I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to get so many letters and so many principal calls.
Yeah, it is weird how the vernacular has changed since we were kids. I mean, because there was a lot of words that most of us probably used with.
Yes, John. So
some
I've tried to
liberty.
tell them it's not nice and people would find it inappropriate. But as soon as I say that, they're like, you're super. Oh my gosh, you touched your nose. You're super. And I'm like, oh, for the love of all that is. I feel like I'm back in school with my latchkey. But my fourth executive order as temporary empress / president of America is that we are bringing the 90 words back. We're bringing all of the 90s word back. And we're not going to apologize. We're going to use them out loud and proud because, damn it, that's how we grew up. And Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was awesome, and we're going to bring back TJI Friday. Screw you guys, boomers. Stop bringing back your old stuff. We're bringing 90s stuff back. Rugrats and all. Let's go. Reptar forever.
Yeah. It's...
Dear Lord, my pain is high today, so... This is pain mode. Sorry, I should have warned you all.
There have been some words that are now considered to be faux pas, but back in the 90s were okay to say. But like one of them being the R word. And like,
oh my gosh, we're bringing that back.
well,
Screw
so here's the thing. I did not know I had said that in front of somebody who had a child who was autistic.
Oh no.
And they were not offended, but my guilty conscience made me feel bad because it was like, well, you'd never know, like, what if somebody actually does have a child
Here's
or
the
whatever.
thing. It's not... It didn't ever come from a place of hate. And
No.
I don't like that we assign, motives to kids. Those were just the vernacular. That's just what we said. It didn't mean, but okay, Vale, would it be bad to make my first, presidential agenda thing the R revolution?
You might want to bury that one in on a Friday afternoon. Just saying.
Okay, what about a 90s revival then?
That'll
Just
probably
call
be
it-
better.
All right. Edge meme lords use the R revolution, though. We're bringing it back.
Yeah. It's the world is a different place than it was then. And like, I understand that like some people don't have a problem saying it. I don't say it anymore because I put myself in a situation where
Executive
it may be
Order
uncomfortable.
11D12. I'm sending all offended people to Arizona too because they probably cycle. I am profiling. That's just how it is. Executive order, all Karens, all tone policers, all nanny, talkers, out. Down, Arizona. Leave us alone. You can police yourselves.
Yeah, like I try not to be offensive, but I mean, which is hilarious because we've been sitting here and like making jokes about things.
We are going to get a Mediaite. We are going to get a hope not hate mail soon. We really are.
You can send that to P.O. Box 666.
Yeah, please send me something to my P.O. box. That would be great. If you could just send me all the things I've done wrong.
Yeah.
And sadly for you, I never was good at text, so you're not going to find a whole lot of media hot takes.
But if you're going to do it, you need to write that shit in cursive.
Oh my
Because I know
gosh,
you
yes.
can't. So
That's it. That's it. 90s kids, genlennials, the people that refuse. I'm a genlennial. I reject millennial. I was born on the cusp. I am a genlennial.
yeah, I'm right on the cusp too. Depending on which diagram of decade or year capture that you look at, I'm either the end of Gen X or a millennial, so I don't know what exactly I am.
Yeah, so I just go with genlennial. We reject that. We would like to be Gen Xers. We are pissed off at the world too. We had to go through the cassette to the CD to the MP3 to flipping iPods. Like, what the hell is all this crap? Went from VHS to, laser discs. Some of us who are rich. I saw one once. It was cool. Then we went to, DVDs, then Blu-rays, then effing you just download the things. We have seen too much change. We are done. We would like TGI Fridays back. We would like Dunkaroos. We would like Kudos bars and Pudding Pops. Thank you very much. God bless America. That is my platform. Someone remind me to cut that.
I think you're supposed to hold up your hands in the peace signs and say good night.
No, I would just so in my fantasy world where I am in fact Empress, at this point Team America would go on. There would be flares in the background, a smoke screen, laser thing, and I would walk off like one of those UFC people, like, dusting off my shoulders, doing the little YMCA shuffle, and then, possibly the Tootsie Roll, depending on what comes on with the DJ, or the Macarena. We are bringing it all back. I will find Crisscross. They're probably 55 now, but we are bringing back. I missed the bus.
Oh God! Did anybody else here wear their pants backwards?
I thought that was so cool. I thought that they were the coolest kids, and that's the thing I'll never, ever, ever, ever do again.
Yeah.
And of course, I am like the children of the corniest, white, pale blonde hair, no rhythm. So I am over here. Can we talk about Informer? Does anyone actually know the words to that?
Snow Informer. I remember
I was just like,
this.
something, enforcer, It's like Eddie Vedder songs, Pearl Jam. Did anyone know the lyrics to any goddamn song that he sang before they opened the little packet and you're like, the hell?
So
Those sounds don't make words like that.
see, I understood the Eddie Vedder ones, but to the Snow song. So here are the lyrics. Informer, say daddy me snow me I go blame. I licky boom boom down. Detective Mana say daddy me snow me stab someone down the lane. I licky boom boom down. Informer.
What in the amount of cocaine heroinism did I just... And why did he become Jamaican? Like, he's like pale as Rick Ross. What the hell are we doing here? 90s, you were a brilliant gem of absurdity, and I'm bringing you back.
It's such a terrible song. It makes no sense. Oh, and this is the most 90s, or yeah, because this was the 90s. And like at the end of the first, like the intro, he's like, word busted. And then it
It's
goes,
like Vanilla Ice when we thought he was edgy, and then you look back and you're like, he has never waxed a chump like a candle. Facts not in evidence. No foundation laid. Also,
Yeah.
he's Vanilla Ice. Your Honor, I rest my case.
oh, Jesus. The
I'm
90s.
bringing back all the angry girl music. No more I ditched my boyfriend. Although, okay, in the creepiest thing, I love Alanis Morissette. But allegedly, You Ought to Know is about Dave Coulier, Uncle Joey. And
Oh,
that
yes.
just has effed with my mind forever. I'm like, ew. Like, Uncle Joey was always androgynously unsexual to me. Like, I just couldn't understand the
Isn't it-
appeal.
hold on a second. Isn't that one word that she says she goes down on him in a theater?
Yeah. Yeah. I never pictured Uncle Joey, but now all I do when I listen to that, I don't listen to that song, but all I see is Uncle Joey with the puppet chipmunk in the
Oh,
theater.
Jesus.
And
Alanis Morissette. Oh, Jesus. No.
on that mental mind worm. And look, if I have to imagine it, you guys have to imagine it too, because it just, the way my mind works. Dear God.
Oh, dear. Oh.
On that note, thank you guys for joining us. We will be switching to the testimony. I will be doing a speed run of this and the review of the final episode of the JonBenet Ramsey case. Just a simple reminder, y'all. I am giving you the opinions laid out in the documentary. As far as I'm concerned, no one has given me definitive proof that would make it logical for me to make a distinction between the various theories in this case. So
Yes.
I'm not bringing back Pogs, though. Pogs were stupid and dumb, and I hate them.
But you gotta get that slammer.
Oh my God. I remember I had so many Pogs. What the hell was wrong with us? Like, if there's anything we need to be shamed for, it was Pogs.
I mean, it was supposed to be like baseball cards for not sports people.
Yeah, it was supposed to be for the unathletic of us, but they're counting on coordination that we don't have to throw heavy things at our fingers.
Yeah, it was such a strange thing. I remember.
All
them
right, you
too.
guys. I did not leave you with the whole Uncle Joey thing, so there you go, Pogs. Something else to cringe for. Thank you so much for joining us. Did you have anything you wanted to do or say?
All I've got going on is hanging curtains. That's all I've got.
And that's not literal. No, I'm just kidding. All right, guys, have a great day. Let me see who I can send you to. I'm always terrible at this, but I need to get better. I have so many goals to be better, but in my defense, I have upgraded from dreadful to semi-passable. And we are going to send you to Shizzy. He is talking about Florida Man and Kenkel twins. I'm intrigued. So that's always good. Have a wonderful day. I will see you guys probably tomorrow for Shizzy's 5,000 celebration. So definitely go over there, give him some love and support. I am going to go watch Team America in my room while I cross stitch.
America.
F yeah.
Oh, too funny.
I recommend go out, be free, my children. Everyone watch Team America. Bye, you guys. I love that my endings are like 100 hours long because I always get sidetracked.